It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show. It's the Andy Snowden Radio Show.
We'll leave it there, shall we? Let's have a break.
Uniting our community on 105 FM, Calon FM.
So, what can you do tonight, I hear you chunder? Well, if you've got nothing better to do, you could always pop up to the William Aston Hall in Wrexham town and have a quick look at old Gaz Coombes. You remember Gaz Coombes? Lead singer with Supergrass back in the 1990s and the 2000s, of course. Well, he is coming to the William Aston Hall, and for one night only. So for nearly 2 decades with Supergrass, Gaz Coombes came to embody the oddball end of the British indie and Brit pop. But it is since he's gone solo that he's kind of found himself a little bit. He's had 3 solo albums, and his brand new one, The World's Strongest Man, third is going to be premiering. There you are. Some of the tracks tonight at the William Aston Hall, part of the Focus Wales Festival that takes place in Wrexham every single year, fastly growing as one of Wales's biggest music festivals. Anyway, I had a quick chat with Gaz yesterday, and quick disclaimer, he was in his tour bus when I spoke to him, so some of it's a little bit crackly, but I'm sure you'll get the gist. Here he is, Supergrass's Superman, Gaz Coombes.
Hello.
Hi, Gaz.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. Yeah, very good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Are you on tour at the moment then, or
kind of like just the album release week, mayhem and chaos? Just been travelling around a lot and doing some in-stores and meeting fans. So it's been great. It's been a pretty wild week, actually. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! You're on your way up to Wales tomorrow. Have you played Wrexham before? I can't remember you doing Wrexham.
I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure we've done Wales many times over the years. I'm trying to remember if I've done Wrexham actually. I would be surprised at some point with Supergrass. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I often wonder if you've never been to somewhere before, do you like to just sort of go around places? Is that something you like to do?
Yeah, whatever time I've got, it's always good to get out of any kind of dressing room or vehicle or stage. It's kind of just to see a bit of what's going on. So yeah, no doubt I'll do the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and also as well before a show like yourselves, I mean, the fervour and excitement that is sort of bounded around prior to a gig the size of yours. Are you aware of that before the show? Do you know that sort of thing goes on?
Yeah, I guess I just focused on doing a great show. I mean, it's great to know that everyone's excited. I mean, I'm really excited too. It's going to be the first sort of solo show I've done for a month or so now. So I'm just kind of itching to get on the stage and see all those lovely faces. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you actually, by the time Supergrass became mainstream, you would have obviously been going a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you have to sort of make yourself a persona as a frontman? Do you have to do that?
I don't particularly remember, doing that necessarily. I think it was just the sort of the character, the persona was being who we were in a sense, all very, very young. And, I remember my first TV performance, I can see that I'm kind of shitting myself.
Yeah.
And, I probably had a few too many drinks and just kind of this combination, mixture of kind of raw excitement and outright fear.
Yeah.
I think that was a sort of persona, that was a kind of, that was a thing in itself. And then it just grew, I just grew as a person, and it sort of changes, evolves. But yeah, completely. I mean, I'm a different person when I guess when I go on stage. Different.
Yeah.
You sort of have to be in a way. I can't. I guess I can be quite quiet at times. Out off the stage. You don't necessarily want to see that on stage. You need a bit more energy. And so, yeah, I find a different part of myself for sure.
So you don't fancy doing any of the sort of... I never sort of picture you doing any of the celeb things, the I'm a Celebrity, Big Brother type things. Have you ever been asked?
No, I don't know. You just have to... I have to go with my gut feeling really on it, and never they come come up, these things do come along, and I always know straight away that it's just not something that I particularly want to do. I don't particularly enjoy watching them anyway.
No.
So I don't sort of feel like, wow, that's I just don't look at it and think, wow, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
I look at it, I think maybe opportunities for me are defined in a different way to reality television.
And so you've got your new album out. It's your third solo album.
Yeah.
And is this tour to sort of? Is this how it works? You put an album out and then tour to sort of promote that. Is that how it works?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the official UK tour. In May, album tour in May, which is with the full band, where kicking off 17th in Glasgow and making my way around the UK. Going to London Palladium as well, which would be quite a bonkers one.
And, marvellous.
So I guess that's the album tour. Yeah, but then in and around that, it's just kind of constantly on the road. And there's two approaches to the live performance. One is a sort of solo thing, which is kind of cool and experimental and different things I kind of bring into the solo show, and then you've got the full band as well. So, a bit of both over the next 6 months, I guess, or 6-9 months.
I mean, I had listened to the album this morning, the new one, the World's Strongest Man. It's a fantastic bit of work, mate. I've got to say.
Thank you very much.
It's an awesome bit of work. It doesn't usually happen to me when I love something from a first listen. It's usually you sometimes have to let it grow on you, don't you?
Yeah, well, I guess that's sort of something that you look at it like the Holy Grail, if you like, where you listen to something that's great on that first listen, but then the more you hear it, the more you kind of uncover as well, whether that's lyrically or sonically.
Yeah.
And parts of the instrumentation. So that's what I aim for, I guess, is to sort of still you've got to have that hook still, man. You've got to have something that grabs you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And do you find it easier to sort of write on your own, or is it just a different process?
It's just different. I don't think anything's necessarily easier. I really enjoy that sort of freedom. That kind of is very liberating in the beginning, early stages, just to be stream of conscious with ideas and unload as much as I can. I find that very exciting.
Yeah, and I read somewhere that it's addressing mental health issues. This album was that an intentional thing, or was that just something that sort of happened?
No, I think it's more just I'm proud that the elements of the record have been highlighted for the right reasons. But never my intention to write a record about those things. It's more, I don't know, it's more just my headspace. When you kind of feel like you're on the periphery and you can sort of have an overview of things, and I guess I just try and get across my view on stuff.
And at this present time, of course, it's the highest level of teenage mental health and depression that we've ever had in this country, and it's a strange one, because I can't really put my finger on what the cause could be, but there seems to be a lot of it these days.
Yeah, it's a very public existence as well. I think even growing up as a kid and a teenager, I think with the way that kids sort of live their lives on social media as well, it can really amplify a lot of things, and I think it's sort of it's easy to forget that something tangible and something real and a shoulder to cry on and a friend is sort of still just as valuable as it ever was. And just the idea that you can get comfort from a post online to sort of thousands of people. I don't know. I mean, it still seems strange to me, but
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Our own houses.
It is a strange one. Something that we didn't have when we were teenagers. Now they all take it for granted.
Yeah.
So when you're putting a set together for a tour like this one now, as a solo artist, do you have to sort of mix it up with Supergrass stuff, or how does it work?
No, I mean, I don't want to play. If I'm going to play Supergrass stuff, I'm more likely to play, especially with a band. I would prefer to play it with Supergrass rather than another sort of diluted version. But if I'm solo and I've just got my guitar, depending on how the show's going and how what the vibe is, and I might well throw one or two in every now and again. But it depends.
Because I suppose every band's got that track that almost has to be played.
It's sort of different though, because it's like since 2012 when I started on the first solo record. I mean, the crowds have been great. They're always, I rarely hear anyone call out for a Supergrass song.
Right.
They're really, they're just really receptive and really up for hearing, latest stuff that's coming out. And I think, I'd be the same with an artist that I appreciate. I'd be really excited to hear the latest thing that's been going on in their head. I think that's the excitement. So I've been getting that feeling from everyone, which is great.
Oh, fantastic!
I haven't felt the need to put any in. Basically, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh. Well, that obviously says a lot about your own solo work, doesn't it? I mean, I read somewhere that Supergrass involved your brothers. So was your family like massively into music? Is that?
Yeah, we've always it was always around the house and stuff, and there was often big record collections around and lots to explore. And so there was I think this is from quite early on. And my younger brother Charlie, he's a great musician, really talented. He joined up with Supergrass for a few years as well. So
right,
yeah, it's good to have the brothers around.
And you're a dad now, obviously, as well. So are your kids kind of leaning that way? Do you reckon?
Yeah, little bits and pieces. It's still early. I reckon they're quite young, but one's really into art, the other's really into singing.
I think they all sort of mix themselves together. I think because we always have a lot of music playing in our house, and I've got 3 kids, so they're all artistic. Do you know what I mean? They all like doing sort of outgoing things. So I'm sure, like, if you don't have to become a musician to appreciate music, do you?
No, definitely not. No, I think it's just sort of, it's just about recognising what they suddenly grab hold of. If it's something that they're showing a lot of passion for. My youngest is really into art. She sort of wants to go to these sort of like art camps, every weekend, and it's just really passionate. She's sort of driven. I'm sort of less. I'm not sure about kind of the sort of the pushy parent thing.
No,
driving your kids. I'm not sure. Maybe it works for some people, but not for me. Sort of slightly unconventional life. I much more get a buzz from seeing how they're driven, and then almost as a parent, then kind of jumping on that and making the most of it. But that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. All right, cool. Well, listen, mate, have a great tour. Have a lovely evening tomorrow night.
All right, we'll do. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, fantastic. They're a great crowd in Wrexham.
Brilliant.
Yeah, once they got a drink inside them, they're mad heads.
Excellent.
You take care of yourself. Lovely to speak to you.
All right, man. Nice one.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
We at times, it's a fantasy. All you read in the magazines, Mother Nature.
So there we go, Mr. Gaz Coombes of the Supergrass frontman is coming to the Wrexham Glyndŵr University, the William Aston Hall this very evening, the 12th of May 2018. If you would like to get tickets, and tickets only £18, girls and boys. If you like Supergrass, you're in for a treat. Box office number 0844 888 991. That is 0844 888 991. Focus Wales Festival is up and running with Gaz Coombes coming to Wrexham. Brilliant.
Community Radio.